What's going on, guys? Haneboss here, bringing you a CODology, a breakdown basically of itskeyexe gameplay here. Got a couple of clips of him. For those of you that don't know the series, it's where I kind of break down clips and try to exemplify and explain to you the thought process that high-level players have and top-tier players have during their clips, and kind of what makes them, these top-level players, and what it takes to be a high-level Call of Duty player. All the things that goes into decision making and winning gunfights, so that way you guys can implement it into your own gameplay, and that way you guys can hopefully get better from these things, trying to understand of what these players do. Itskey is a 0.1% player. He's very good. He's played the game for a long time and he knows what he's doing. So I'm going to break down these clips, try to explain to you what he does in more basic terms rather than just watching, so that way you can hear it and kind of understand what really all goes into it. There's a lot of moving parts in Call of Duty. It's not as easy to just have the best gun skill. So that way I'm going to try to break it down and explain it to you guys so you guys can get better. Quick thing about myself. I'm Haneboss. I run with Key all the time. I've been playing Call of Duty a long time. I've been playing since COD 4, before World at War's release. Played a lot of GBs in my life. Played some competitive. Masters and all league, 2.2 KD in Warzone. I'm playing Call of Duty a long time. So I'm able to break down these clips and kind of show you what he does that the average player might not see, and kind of explain to you what it takes to be this high of a level of a player that Key is. So let's get right into these clips right here, so that way I can explain to you and you guys can get better today.
That's fine.
So this first clip is a 1v4, right? Team rolling up on a helicopter. So kind of showing you what to do when you get bull rushed by a team and the things you have to do. The first thing you have to do is how many picks can you get and how much damage you can deal without taking damage yourself. That's the biggest thing in 1v4s, and we're going to see a Key here do it to perfection, is how much can you hinder the other team and get it to as fair as possible on your side, how far you can get it to as even as possible on your side without taking damage and without losing plates and stuff like that. So let's roll into this clip and let's see how he does this.
Oh, where was that?
So target acquisition, right? His teammate goes down, he hears it, he sees the plane. The thing I want you to keep in mind in Warzone is that Warzone has set cover, right? This is not Fortnite. You cannot build your cover. So what good players do is they make their own cover and they make use of their environment. Itskey, 200 IQ play right here. He knows where the hell he's coming from. He can see it. He can hear the shots. It's coming from his right. So what does he do? He just doesn't turn right and blindly start shooting at him. He goes and gets behind makeshift cover. In this case, a Lodi. He is in a crazy head glitch right now. No shot he's getting hit from any bullets. And this is something that just takes time of gameplay and playing the game a long time. Not many players are going to instinctively run to cover and get on a head glitch. A lot of players are just going to turn right and start shooting. That's a mistake. Knowing when to get your battles and get your angles is huge in these 1v4 situations. It's a good snipe, highs pressure. So this is something I kind of want to point out right here. So he hits a headshot, good snipe. That's what good players do. They hit good shots, right? So he gets one down with no damage taken. He ends up actually getting a second down here. So that player in the heli that he shot at with his Mac 10 actually goes down from the plane crash. So right now it's a 2-on-1 with he has half health basically. So he got 2 downs and only losing his plates. That's a very good start. Let's see how he keeps rolling into this. Sees one player here, crack on a headshot, which makes no sense, and a down. So now it's a 1-on-1, and Key only lost his plates. So he took down 3 players while only losing his plates. This is huge when it comes to winning these 1v4s, is getting these picks and not getting damage yourself. How do you do that? Using cover, playing quick, hitting your shots. If you're sitting there missing all these snipes, these players aren't going down. You gotta hit your shots, you gotta use your cover, and you gotta put yourself in a position to not take incoming damage. So right now, it's a 1-on-1, and he's gonna replay, do all that, and try to locate this last player to finish this clip. He sees him right there, so what he's gonna do is he's gonna go around this corner and get himself as much time to plate, so this is as fair as a fight as it can be. It's gonna be a 1-on-1, 3 plates versus 3 plates. But here comes the wrench. He pushes this 1-on-1, and there's another player up. So somehow that first player he downed got rezzed or something like that, or he had self. Somehow this player gets up. So it's actually a 2-on-1 with this first player that he saw closing in and that second player beaming him with an AR from behind. Now this is what Key does amazingly right here, is the movement and the IQ it takes to be able to win these gunfights in these terrible situations. He has his back turned to an opponent with an AR and one opponent literally approaching him right now. So what does he do? He breaks line of sight. Most important thing when winning gunfights is breaking line of sight so you cannot take incoming damage. How does he do this? Pushes down, pushes forward. Now, it happens quick because he has dead silence and it's a fast clip. So what is he doing is he's pushing down this way off the ramp to get away from this cover. The thing he does is he slides forward to break line of sight from this kid, but also to get behind and break line of sight from this kid. So if he just comes off here and then slides out, this kid's still going to be able to see him. In this clip, he can happen to still see him, yes, right here where I paused it. But since he slid down here at one point and then he slid forward, it's just because he jumped. This player is not shooting. This player is currently sprinting. So he broke line of sight of him and stopped him firing. This player gets broken line of sight because he slides at him. When you slide at somebody and you slide to their side like this, they cannot shoot you, which is once again what the whole game is about. Shooting players that cannot shoot you. Luckily for Key, submachine gun beats AR up close 99% of the time. Dumps on this kid. Now it's a true one-on-one once again. He knows this player is pushing with an AR, so he goes for the replate, right? And he's using his movement to his advantage. He's trying to locate him and get as many plates as possible to get a fair one-on-one plate v plate. So, how do we take this, right? Key uses his IQ right here to know this player is pushing because he thinks Key is hurt. He just got into a 2-on-1 gunfight, so the other player knows that he's hurt and he wants to finish the kill. This is what we call a rechow, and a lot of people know this as a rechow, but let me show you why rechows are important. So, this player hits him some more, definitely thinks he's way weaker than he is, right? He doesn't know Key got all those plates off. What a rechow does, especially with the player he's playing, this player is kill hungry, right? His teammates are bleeding out, they're all calling out, please save me, get him, he's weak. What a rechow does is it forces a 50-50 on the opponent. Where there is no 50-50. You know 100% you're challenging. This player either has to sit ADS on the rechow, or he has to run forward. If he chooses to run forward, which 90% of players do because you are weak, they want to be the aggressor. You are weak, they want to be the aggressor. So what do? You reach out and you catch them in a sprint. In a game like Call of Duty, where the TTK is so short, if you catch somebody in a sprint where you're shooting and they are not, you're going to win the gunfight. I mean, 90% of the time almost. You're shooting and your TTK is faster than they can bring up their gun and shoot in some cases. Once again, I don't know the exact numbers if that's correct, but theoretically, if you catch somebody in a sprint and you are shooting, you're going to win this gunfight no matter what 99% of the time. That's why rechows are so strong in this game, especially with Peeker's advantage, man. This game is based off of TTK, short TTKs. How do you use short TTKs? Making that player take as long as possible to start his TTK. So what I mean by that is catching them in sprint, catching them off guard, aiming in the wrong direction. Slides, rechows, kills him, man. Like I said, that was a lot of information in one clip. I try to go quick. I don't try to drag it on, but like I said, that's a lot to take in, and that's a lot to handle, especially as one player. Sliding right into the clip. Slow it down a little bit. Put things in a context. So last clip, to recap, making advantage of cover, making your own cover, right? Taking your angles, shielding out as much damage as you can without taking damage, and abusing rechows, and forcing longer TTKs on people. Once again, we see that here in this clip, and then we also see more use of IQ and things like that. It's Key pushing up to this building. So right now, I mean, I'm going to tell you what it is. It's a 3-on-1. It's trios. 3-on-1, right? His teammate goes down, and he sees 2. So his first goal, as I always say, win your 1-on-1s, and how many downs can you get without taking damage? Here we go. Downs a player, only loses a plate. Great start. As you see right here, live pin. His teammate is able to get a live pin off. And he can see this third player. So he knows where all 3 are. This is what gives him the confidence to make this play that he's about to make. He has dead silence on. These players don't know where he is and can't hear him pushing. The only thing they have is this player's callouts, which are going to be a second or 2 delayed because of, talking and trying to, formulate your words and stuff. So Key instinctively reacts to this. This is very quick thinking and something that just takes a lot of gameplay, and what makes him a 0.1% player is that he doesn't have to think. He just acts. And when you're able to act in the right ways, this makes you very fast and very, very unpredictable. You hit these people so fast they don't even know what happened to them. Pushes through, kills the live ping. He's able to pre-fire this and pre-zoom because of the live ping. Once again, how do you win gunfights without taking damage? You get first bullet, you get damage off when you're not receiving damage, and you are shooting before they are to extend their TTK. So, like I always say, shooting is faster than not shooting. Right? So what is he doing? He's pre-aiming and starting to shoot. Because your TTK is faster when you're already at max RPMs, rounds per minute. When you're at max rounds per minute, your TTK is as high as it can be. So he's shooting, reaching his max RPMs, and he's downing this player before he can even get his sights up. This last player, like I said, is now 2 downs, 1 plate gone. So this is a very fair fight for him. If this kid is at pull plates, which I don't even think he is in this clip. Key, what he does, doesn't panic, knows that he has enough bullets to get the kills, and has enough plates to chow this player. So what he does, he doesn't think, he just acts. How do you act? Once again, with the last clip, is called breaking line of sight. And what I mean by this is, it isn't always using cover to break lines of sight. It's just naturally breaking lines of sight through movement. So he's going to slide at this player because he heard the shots around this corner, right? This player is taking this wide angle right here to try to see Key around this corner as soon as possible because he thinks he's right here. So what's Key going to do? Slide at him. This breaks this player's line of sight as he's looking straight and you're coming past him. Kind of like when you're driving a car and a car goes past you, you have to turn your head, but you're still going forward. So it's a lot more turning. This makes it so this player misses shots. This player has to adjust, losing aim assist, all things like that. Slides through. That player luckily had no plates. Even still, he probably wins that gunfight anyway, just because of the angle he took in the slide. As you can see, this player has to turn so much. I mean, 90 plus degrees in this clip. I mean, look at, he has his whole back right here. Look at, he's facing him right here, and Key is able to slide at him and get his whole back, and that kid's still looking the same way. I mean, this kid has to spin 180 degrees. That's insane. I mean, this kid's never winning that gunfight having to spin 180 degrees. Lucky, like I said, no plates, able to down him. But either way, Key wins this fight, man. I mean, especially with him still going this way, it's turning into more than 180 degrees, which is very hard for these players to hit. And like I said, the big takeaway at the end of the day, 3 kills, not even 3 plates. I mean, he's not even taking a plate of damage from these players. He is getting his kills so fast, so efficiently, that it's causing him to get kills without taking damage. What's all about when you're winning these 1v3s and 1v4s and making these big plays for your team.